So, I recently watched all of Dragon Ball for the first time and I really liked it. It's not the best thing that I've ever seen, but it's great and it deserves all the respect. But when I finished it, I realized that there is one problem with how series is at the moment. It can't continue like this, or it's gonna die not before long, if it's not dead already. Is there a way to save the franchise? Yes, there is. And to explain you how, I'll need to start from the beginning. Let's go. So, what is this problem that I mentioned before? Because, yeah, I like Dragon Ball. It wasn't all like fights and screaming that I thought it would be before watching it. Oh, and by the way, there is a video about my first impressions after finishing the series. You can watch it like here or here, I don't know, or link is gonna be in the description too. Getting back to the topic at hand. Yeah, if you get used to it, all the fights and screaming, they get entertaining actually. And usually behind all that, most of the time there is drama and feeling, at least in old Dragon Ball. But since it's literally the progenitor of all the shonen anime of today, sometimes some of its qualities can feel over-exaggerated, and some things can be improved. And on top of that, if you take some of the meaning and feeling from Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, you get Dragon Ball Super, which is unfortunately the main series that's trying to keep Dragon Ball alive. And even though it was popular for a while, it's obviously inferior to Dragon Ball Z. Like Goku just be getting new hair color every once in a while and that's it. And I'm gonna be honest, if Dragon Ball Super is the best hope of the series right now, it's gonna die, not before long. It needs something new, it needs something fresh. Wait a second, we already have this new and fresh. We have the solution. We have the Dragon Ball series that can save the entire franchise. Yes. Dragon Ball Daima is the future of the series. It either continues on the path of Daima or it dies completely. You might disagree and you might be waiting tirelessly for Dragon Ball Super manga to be animated, to finally see Ultra Ego Vegeta animated. And I get that, and to be honest, I probably would want to see that too, but for me, there is no way for the series to stay like that and to stay alive too. It's not enough to compete with all the other animes that are out nowadays, and some of them are truly great, not all of them, but some of them really are. Let's take Dandadan for example. Great animation, great art style, great action, lovable and evolving characters, and probably the most important part, it's really unique. Like its art style, its animation, its soundtracks, everything comes together and brings you this unique experience. There is nothing else that looks and feels like Dandadan nowadays. It's the most unique show of today, and Dragon Ball Super, it's, you know, just the way it is. Let's take another example, which is hated by many and loved by many. Solo Leveling. And don't take it the wrong way, I'm not a Solo Leveling fan, but there are reasons why it is this big. I want to talk about it because it has a lot of things that I brought up before when I was talking about Dragon Ball Super, when I said that it's not that deep, really action heavy, and it has little feeling to it. And since it's the case for Solo Leveling too, what is the difference? Honestly, I think the difference is pretty clear. It is ideas and pace. Yes, Solo Leveling is not that deep and it's pretty action-packed, but I haven't seen anything like it. Like the idea of leveling up in real life, it sounds amazing, and honestly, every dude would want to do that, let's just be honest. As a result, it's really fresh and relatable, and it looks great. As a result, it's really big. There are other shows that I can bring up as examples, but I think you get the idea. And on the other hand, Dragon Ball, it just goes on only because of its legacy. And when I say that, I mean all the other Dragon Ball series besides Daima. But why? Well, because Daima is different. Very different. Daima is much more plot heavy. Like, it's not even comparable. Dragon Ball has never been this plot heavy. It introduced so many characters, new locations, concepts. It was just really fun. I haven't had this much fun in a while. And for me, Dragon Ball before Daima haven't been this fun in general. We learned so many new mechanics and laws of the Demon Realm. And if I'm being honest, it's less about the plot for me and more about lore and world building. When you know all of the lore and the history and all of the stuff that happened before in Dragon Ball, Daima hits different. We got more new stuff introduced to us in those 20 episodes than in the entire Dragon Ball franchise. Well, maybe not more, but at least a comparable amount. And it felt amazing. It felt like for the first time we saw the potential that Dragon Ball has for world building. It just never got to shine. All that history of the Demon Realm. When I first learned that Namekians and Kais were all born in the Demon Realm, I was shocked. All those new creatures that we saw, like those gateway fish, aka Sir Warp, also those krakens, and those giants, they're so enormous, but they're actually second biggest creatures in the Demon Realm. Like, come on, what are the biggest? The amount of things that we learned about the creation of the Dragon Ball universe itself was immense. And me as a One Piece fan, of course I love some great world building and some lore. That's one of the main reasons why One Piece is top 1 for me. And yeah, that kinda means that I'm a bit biased, but just remember, everyone is biased, okay? So yeah, it felt like the story has so much more to it. We could explore Demon Realm even more, because there is stuff to explore, and we could explore the main universe the same way, because let's be honest, we never did. But unfortunately, a lot of the fans just hated Daima. And some of that hate is justified, because, for example, it being more childish than old school Dragon Ball, like a lot more childish. Like, old school Dragon Ball was way more hardcore. I was kinda shocked when I realized how hardcore it actually was. But is it enough for me to hate Daima? No, of course not. Like, it brought so much more good than bad. I'm all here for it. And if you hate Daima, I think you should ask yourself, is it better for Dragon Ball to just die out completely? Especially when Daima just showed us that there is so much more to tell, so much more to show, so much more to explore. As a result, with this new style, I feel like Dragon Ball can finally compete with all the other animes that are out right now. It might not be perfect, but it has a future, if you, the fans, will give it a chance. Subscribe for more anime content, and see ya.